Hi again then folks, and welcome to the second part of the DeAgostini GT40 build. If you haven't checked out the first part, of course, I would recommend doing that. We did the front clamshell, which is for now just parts, and putting together the front right wheel. This time around, we have parts 3 all the way through to 7, which is what I received in my second shipment, so I'm going to assume that everyone receives that in the same way, so then we can build it all along together if you want to. So step 3 is this big boy. It is the right-hand door. From the looks of things, this would appear to me to be the majority, if not all of the door. I haven't looked at any of these stages in terms of actually putting them together, so you see this at the same time as I do. We've still got our screwdriver, of course, from part 2 last time. So let's first of all get all of this stuff out of the pack, and we will skip forward through the power of editing to get the cardboard out of the way. Okay, so with the card out of the way, now let's take everything out of our actual packaging. Carefully, of course, so that we don't spring any parts across the room. No, doesn't appear to be anything in there, so we can get that out of the way. And now let's take a look at our actual building section. So, in this part we have, okay, the right door. So we've got quite a lot included. Step 1, place the exterior door light. 3C, which is, where are we? 3C. 3C, so that was this small silver one. Place 3C into the housing in the door. Just here, so that's simple enough. Pop that in there. That looks to me like it needs a little screw. They have a small notch, so they only fit together, blah, 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 blah. Step 2, hold the light in place and secure it from the inside with an FP02 screw. FP02, handily the first one I picked up. Give him a little top hat like we always do. And pop that in place. Whoops. Let's put that back in place. Keep it there. Give him some of the old torque. Not too tight though. Okay. Step 3, then place the hinge. Okay, that's that one into the corresponding recess in the right door. So we're going to flip the door over, take the hinge, and the hinge fits. I would say right about there. Is there a particular orientation for the hinge, I wonder? Well, it is different on one side to the other. Let's see if it feels any different. I'm going to say it feels like that way to me. Okay, so that's that. Step 4. Place the hinge onto the inside. Okay, so that's our metal plate here. Place the hinge there. So we need to flip that one around. Place that on. Nope, wrong way. Flip that around that way even. And put him over those. And place the hinge plate onto the inside of the door, over the hinge, secure with an FD01. Check that the hinge can rotate. Check that the hinge can rotate. Right, okay. And loosen the screw if it does not. So we need an FD screw. Which one's that? FD01. That was FD03. No, where's FD now? FD04. FD0. Yep, FD01. So that's the one we need. You would not want to lose these screws. So top hat time. And then pop that in there. So get that one screwed in there. Try not to strip the screw. Make sure the hinge can rotate. Well, I guess it depends on their definition of rotate. What do they mean by rotate, I wonder? Because that doesn't have very much rotation. Okay, let's try loosening that a little bit. I don't really know how much rotation they mean. Let's take the screw out completely and see. See, there's still not really any full rotation there. Let's take that off for now. Maybe I put the hinge on the wrong way around. Let's try it the other way. And now I don't know what the other way is because I flipped it around. Put that back in. Pop that one back on there. Aha, well that looks better to me because that has more actual rotation on the hinge. Okay. Yeah, I'd say that looks better to me. Okay. Now, what's the next step? Next step, step 5. Insert the opening mechanism 3K. Okay, that's that one. Get the eyelash off the page. 3K into the opening mechanism spring. Right, okay, where's the little spring? So that's the spring. So insert that into there, it looks like to me. And then place the 2 parts into the housing at the rear of the door. So let's bring this over here. And that looks like here to me. Insert the opening mechanism into the 3L spring. Okay, so let's just take the mechanism on its own. Pop the spring. It looks to me, yeah, the spring is clearly on the longer side. And place the 2 parts into the corresponding housing at the rear of the door, which is here. Ensure that the chrome part of the opening mechanism, which is that, is inserted into the outer side of the slot. Now let's quickly look to the next page just to see if there's any indication on how to keep it there. And there is indeed. Okay. Now that makes sense, because otherwise it wasn't going to stay. So let's put that there. And put the spring, keep the spring there. You may not see some of this because of the lighting. Place the opening mechanism plate over the mechanism, which is right about there. Oops. Right, so that is just about staying there. If I let go, I think it's going to ping off into the distance. So let's keep that there. Put it over the opening mechanism and secure. Oh, great, now I have to get screws out. Secure with FD04 screws. So FD04 is these ones. Try opening these screws with the old tooths. Pop one out, and then we can try with one hand to, or maybe with parts, use some Spider-Man levels of dexterity to place that on the end. Come on, you blighter. Get on the end of there. Why does this one not seem magnetic all of a sudden? And then slap him through there very carefully into place. No, don't you dare. Where's this little screw being a pain in the backside? Right, let's leave that one there for now. Grab a second screw. These are the tiniest screws. Pop that on there. This really does not want to work magnetically for this one, for some reason. And then let's pick that one up and very carefully put it in there. Come on. And then we can do this up. Oops, give it some tightness. Oh boy, I can't wait to do this on the other door. Screw that one up a bit tighter. And likewise with this little blighter. It doesn't really feel like those are getting tighter, but I guess they are. And there we have, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see it, our little door opening mechanism. That needs tightening just a bit more, just a bit outside. Tighten that a little bit more. Seems tight enough to me. And there's our door opener. Cool. That probably took a lot more effort than it should have. So let's set that to one side. We'll probably need it again immediately anyway. Step 7. Okay, so now step 7. Take our door sealing panel, 3G, into the... match the 4... Yeah, okay, so that's simple enough. Match the 4 pins into there. That's the click that you want to hear of that being in place. Okay, so that's done. Press those together. Next step is number 8. Pass the bottom of the window through the opening in the door and secure with screws. Now, we need FD03, so let's get those out first. FD03s. Get those out. There you go. And try not to push the rest off the table. So there's the glass piece. Pass the bottom of the window through the opening. So place it that way. Then the window is this way. I would say that looks pretty spot on to me. Righto, there we go. So that's there. Pass it through the bottom of the window and secure to the 3 posts. So pass it through the bottom of the window, secure through the opening, secure to the 3 posts with the screws. Pop that one back on there. And top tip for those who maybe haven't done any model building before, or really any type of installing of something that requires screws, you never want to fully tighten any of your screws until they're all in place. And ideally you want to do it in a diagonal formation. And that goes for wheel nuts as well. When you're tightening real wheel nuts on your car, you always want to go diagonal, corner to corner, in a star formation if possible, before you tighten any of them completely up. So now let's return to that one, tighten them up a bit more, then tighten the other end up a bit more, and go for the middle. then back here. Back to the end. Make sure the window is in place. Feels tight. Get that centre one back in. Okay, so the top of that window doesn't feel like it's too secure, but I don't really want to over tighten the bottom. So maybe that's supposed to just sit flush, but I would have thought there would be more to keep that in place, but maybe that comes later. So that's coming along nicely. Now, step 9, take the inner door panel, which is this one, I believe, 3D, and place the inner door compartment 3E, which is this one. And so take the door panel, place the inner compartment into the pin, and 2 posts on the inside of the panel. So 2 posts, which looks to me like these 2 posts. That is on there. And there. Pop that one into place. There we go. Secure with an FP01. Where's our FP01s? FP01. That one's in there. Secure with a screw. Now let's move on to the next one. So now we're place the inner door panel 3D into the inside of the door 3A. Yep, see, like I said, makes sense, comes down the line, and this is what's going to keep the window in place. So that, and we're back, because I had to unfortunately change the battery in the camera. So, back to where we were. So this piece of the panel is, of course, keeping the window in. But before I push that into place, I want to double check that we're doing it correctly. So, place the inner door panel into the inside. We've done that, matching the holes in the opening with those in the door, and fix into position with FD01 screws. So let's get the screws first. FD01s. There. And line this one up with our screw holes just to make sure it is in the right place. It looks to me like it is. But that also looks like that. Yeah, there you go. That needs to be in there first. So place that under that lip. Then line it up with or maybe you don't line it up. I'm presuming that that's what you'd have to do, because otherwise the door is kind of hanging. Maybe I have to snap that. Yeah, there we go. So I had the right idea, but the wrong way around. So that snaps into place. So that under the lip, and now that is in there. And back to our screws. Place those down in there. Just about feel it tightening, and then move on to the second one. Pop that one down there as well. Give them a bit more of a tighten. And I would recommend tightening until you feel like a natural resistance. As soon as it just doesn't want to rotate anymore, don't force it. So to me that feels good enough now. Door's got a nice weight to it. Certainly looks good. Okay, so now we're moving on to, it would appear, our final piece. Looks to me like a snap-in, but let's take a look. Step 11, fix the inner door compartment into the space in the inner door panel, which is here. pressing it in so that the tabs engage. So yeah, that is a snap in. So let's flip that one around, place him there, and that should, there we go, snap into place. Got a message, excuse the audio in the background, and that is snapped into place. So, into the space in the inner door panel, pressing it in so that the tabs engage, stage complete. So that is now our complete door with our door mechanism there. Pretty nice. Yeah, very nice indeed. And you can see the little working door mechanism there, or you should be able to. But yeah. And there's our hinge, the working hinge. You definitely want to check how tight the hinge is before doing the rest, because otherwise you're going to have your work cut out taking it all back apart again to do that. But yeah, so there's the door complete, and now of course we shall move on to the next step.